In this video, I want to talk about how prioritizing for just basics can help set you up for success down the road. What's going on, guys? Armando Gong here, back with another video here to help you find some clarity, direction in your life, and to expand your headspace. I wanted to talk about this because it's one of those ideas that isn't quite sexy. In like Instagram and YouTube, we're always just wanting to look for that next super surprising thing. And talking about the basics is not fun for everybody. But it's one of those ideas that I've always focused in my own fitness training, but also another idea that I got reminded about from another YouTube video I was watching by Nick Neiman and Roberto Blake, which I will put in the description below. The basic idea is to always be focusing on the substance of the matter and not on the bells and whistles. Now, when it relates to YouTube, like people are always worried about the wrong things where it's about the metrics, it's about finding the best transitions, it's about finding the best filters and cameras and things like that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if your message is pretty garbage, which is the fundamental point of it, is that the YouTube video has to provide some type of value, whether that's an entertainment, jokes, education, whatever it is. And once that is set, once you add other things to it, it adds to your video quality, and it doesn't make up just that video. If you relate to a big box office movie, right? Even if you get all the A-list superstars to go into the movie, if the storyline is crap, if the movie itself doesn't make any sense, and there's no entertainment value in it, no one's going to go watch that movie. I think that's pretty obvious. Like, you have to focus on the substance first before you focus on adding some additional things on top of it. I talk about this in my prior video about providing value first as like one of those fundamental things you need to work on, both for myself and just anything in general that you do in life. And I think it's also relevant when you make a video. Focus on the message first and then add the other things which will be the gravy on top of it. In case I haven't mentioned it a lot, like I do a lot of I do training. Fitness is one of my passions. And one of those things in that space is that people are always amazed at how people can do like 600-pound squats, 700-pound squats, these crazy things with your body with like, let's say, like one-arm handstands and things like that. But they don't think about what it took to get to that stage where it was just focusing on a lot of the basics and just building on top of that. One recent video I posted on my Instagram story was just me doing a set of clapping push-ups. They're somewhat outside of the norm, and like people are always usually in awe of it. And like one of my friends commented that that's not something that they can even do or think about at this point. For me, I really had to think about that, like, you know, how did I even get to that point? And then it was just, again, just focusing on the basics over and over again. From a clapping push-up, you know, before that is like, focus on doing some explosive push-ups, then doing some regular push-ups, doing some straddle push-ups, some deep incline push-ups, and incline push-ups, and even wall push-ups. There are lots of basics in between like your original starting point to the end starting point for that move that like you should always master first, rather than just jumping straight into that last move. Like, there are lots of in-between steps that you have to master first, and it's not just about fitness, it's about everything else you do in life, right? Like, you're not gonna get to that six-figure business, seven-figure business without even building like four-figure business. You know, you guys, slowly scale up, master the basics at that level, and slowly build upon that. I think people are always wanting to get to the end stage without focusing on the earlier stages, and focus on the beginning things, the right things, build that basics, build that foundation, helps lead you and set you up for success in the future to get to where you want to get to. For me, it's also same thing in YouTube, right? Put out these videos, slowly refine them, refine how I present them, refine how they're being recorded, how I edit them, and things like that, and work on all these little things and put in the work to create something later on that is much better in quality. There's no way I can just jump to creating the perfect video right off the top of my head. You just gotta take the steps, take the baby steps, and put the work in. That's really the message I have for this video, just focusing on the basics in order to build up your foundation, in order to get to where you want to be. And focusing on just these basics has a lot of like wider implications because you're able to do things that you don't typically do because you have that foundation. Like, for example, focusing on a lot of my body weight movements, right? Set me up a foundation to do other sports such as dragon boating, which is a completely different sport. Set me up well to start like training in powerlifting, where you're not even using your body weight at this point. You're trying to lift as much weight as you can with a barbell. So take the time to focus on the basics, because I know the natural inclination is to try and go hard, go try to do the most complicated thing as you can. But sometimes, that set you up for failure where you try that hard thing that you're trying to go for, you fail at it multiple times and then you give up, but you're missing all the in-between steps before that. So take the time, go slow, slowly build yourself up so that you are set up for success when you try the whatever complicated thing that you're trying to do, whether that's a business, specific move in fitness, or just something else in life that you're looking to do, like a project that you're trying to take on. That's the message I really have for this video. Now, if you got something out of this video, leave a comment below, tell me what you got, and smash that subscribe and notification bell so you can find out whenever I push out new videos.